A suspenseful thriller is a genre focused on creating a high level of tension, anxiety, and uncertainty for the audience. It keeps viewers or readers on the edge of their seats, often by introducing elements of danger, mystery, or impending doom. This genre often explores the mental states of characters, showing their doubts, fears, and internal struggles that I wanted to show through my main character, Sydney. Unexpected plot twists are a hallmark of this genre. What seems straightforward can quickly turn into a web of lies, secrets, and revelations that I explored throughout my short film by using conventions and representing certain social groups. To use conventions, first of all, I casted all female characters in my movie because in suspenseful thriller movies, the presentation of women as vulnerable or in peril is a common convention used by the filmmakers. Women are often shown as victims of violence, such as being attacked, kidnapped, or harmed in some way. The violence could be psychological or physical, with the woman facing extreme threats to her safety that creates intense suspense. Women are mostly shown in a vulnerable position, such as being alone in a secluded area, making her an easier target for the antagonist that I showed in my movie when Sydney feels paranoia when she's walking back home on a very dark street with low-key lighting completely under the influence, as many thrillers will place women in isolated solutions, for example, remote locations or alone at night, where their vulnerability is heightened, just as my character Sydney was shown. They may be alone in the face of danger, often cut off from help or safety, which creates a strong sense of suspense. Furthermore, motherhood shown as vulnerability is also a convention that I used for my movie because mothers in thriller films are often shown as vulnerable, with the protection of their child being a central part of the suspense. The idea of maternal love and the lengths a mother will go to for her child can heighten the stakes and vulnerability that are added in my movie when Sydney fights with her mom because she was not allowing Sydney to go attend the party with her friends so late at night. Mothers are basically shown trying to protect their child from an abductor or dangerous situations that adds emotional layers to the suspense. That was the case with my movie as well. I defined my main female character and her mother by victimhood by using the traditional damsel in distress trope. To further elaborate on how I used conventions to make my movie, I will talk about the costumes, mise en scene, lighting, and camera shots that all play crucial roles in enhancing the tension, overall atmosphere, and the mood. These elements are often used to evoke fear, uncertainty, or unease and to guide the audience emotional response and narrate the movie in thriller movies. Firstly, I decided all the outfits for my characters to truly capture the essence of the party and dance sequence and show how it was the biggest party of the town. I made them wear dark clothes, mostly black, because in a party scene, characters are often dressed in fashionable or glamorous attire to reflect the outward normalcy of the social setting. Talking about the mise en scene, common conventions are often designed to create confusion, overwhelming the viewer's senses and making it difficult to focus on one element. A crowded space with people talking, dancing, or laughing can make the audience feel disorientated and trapped. That I showed in my movie by casting 3 to 4 more people just to show the crowd and intensity of the party, where I also arranged common props that are available at a party like beer bottles, cigarettes, powder, and pills. My initial scene of the party sequence has a very carefree environment with lively music, dancing, and laughter. This creates a false sense of security so that it makes the shift into suspense feel more shocking at the end. The use of alcohol or drugs in the party scene can amplify the unpredictability and vulnerability of the characters. A character may drink too much or be incapacitated, making them an easier target for harm. That I showed by Sydney getting completely wasted and drunk and going alone at night. Furthermore, my camera work aligned correctly with the typical conventional shots of a thriller movie, like I used following shot in which the camera moves behind a character, creating the feeling of being followed. This is used to increase the sense of paranoia and danger, suggesting that the character is being pursued. I also included over-the-shoulder shots to showcase a conversation where Sydney's mother was refusing to let her attend the party, but Sydney rebelled and kind of started an argument. These shots can put the audience in the perspective of someone watching the situation unfold. It's commonly used in scenes of confrontation, creating a sense of tension and anticipation. Moreover, I also used close-up shots to capture expressions of my character's face, particularly their expressions and their eyes, to convey heightened emotion, confusion, and fear. It draws the audience into the character's experience, making them feel more connected to their anxiety. Moreover, to talk about how my product represents social groups or issues, I will talk about my research and my reference media for my film. The director I chose for my movie was Reema Kakti, who has produced brilliant suspenseful thrillers like Talash, that was one of my reference movies, in which she explores complex social issues and gender dynamics, while simultaneously providing strong roles for female characters. Kakti's storytelling approach brings nuanced portrayals of women and social issues, blending mainstream entertainment with thought provoking themes. Talash explores how societal norms often dismiss or stigmatize individuals suffering from mental health issues, especially within the context of the male protagonist's grief. The portrayal of Rosie, who has experienced deep trauma, highlights the long lasting effects of unresolved emotional pain on marginalized individuals that resonated with my main character's background, that I also mentioned in my character profile. Women are portrayed as multidimensional characters with complexity, strength, and vulnerability, and dependence that greatly inspired the narrative of my own film. The characters in our movies are fully realized individuals with their own desires, struggles, and agency that I showed by maintaining my cast's background and their attitudes, for example, the rebellious attitude of Sydney and attending the party. Moreover, my reference show that was Elite also inspired me a lot to represent social groups, because in this series, social groups and social issues are explored through the juxtaposition of the wealthy elite and working class students, with themes of class disparity, privilege, and discrimination taking center stage. The show delves into the darker side of youth culture, portraying drug use, wild parties, and rebellious attitudes that reflect the pressures and excesses faced by the characters, which is the element that I added in my movie to give it a more realistic approach. These elements often serve as a mean of escapism for the students who rebel against societal expectations and personal struggles just to fit in the society. The tensions between classes intensify, leading to conflicts that culminate in a murder, which becomes the focal point of the series, that was also shown in my movie. Not entirely a murder, but a very shocking discovery that Sydney makes when she reaches back home. The murder exposes the toxic dynamics of privilege, jealousy, and power, highlighting how the characters' actions and decisions are influenced by their backgrounds and the societal pressures they face. I incorporated some elements from Talash and some elements from Elite in my own movie by researching and fully understanding their narratives, especially in context to social groups that are represented in my movie. So, by using typical conventions and social group representations, I made my movie When the Music Stops.